Man Show. I have a special guest for you as promised, a former Falcon and former Charger. You love him, you know him. It's Michael the Burger Turner on the Bossman Show. Mike, what's up, my man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, boss man?
I'm doing good, Mike. Good to have the show, man. I told you at the stadium, man, me and John be fans of yours. Been fans of yours for years, man. So it's an honor to have you on the show with us, man, because we've been loving you for life, man. And John, Mike, used to have you in fantasy football league, man, and you go in his league, man. He want to tell you about that real quick.
You sure did, Mike. Dude, 2008. I know you remember 2008, right?
Yeah, I love 2008.
2008. That's my man. 17 rushing TDs. 17 rushing TDs, man. My dudes in my fantasy league, Mike, they were pissed, bro. They were pissed every week. I just slapped Michael Turner down on the table, like boom.
Yeah, I was guaranteed to get you something. If I wasn't getting the yards, I was getting the touchdown. I was gonna get you some points.
Yep, sure were, man. That was a great season all the way around for you, and then coming back in 2010 strong too. Those were 2 great years that you had on the field, not only from a fantasy perspective, but obviously just in general. And for sure, man, we definitely have been following your career throughout. So glad to have you on the program.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Glad y'all invited me.
No, man, this time of year, man, football's back in session, back in season. You get that itch to play still. Is that ever kind of said, man, you get back on the field, I can still ball a little bit. I ain't that old. I can get on the field, still do my thing a little bit. Does that cross your mind this time of year?
Yeah, I'm always curious about, man, can I run? Can I still outrun some of these guys? I never touched the waters, but I'm letting these young guys have it now. I'm old in football years,
Well, yeah, in football years, I'm real old, so I'm geriatric in football years. But speaking of retirement, filling that void after players retire from the game is something that I would imagine you have to think about as your season not your season, but your career kind of progresses. Is there something that you had in mind while you played that you look forward to when you did retire, and how do you kind of fill that void of competitive juice that flows through you, after you've stopped playing the game?
You know what? I was so, while I was playing, I was so focused on what we had going on with Atlanta. I wasn't worried about life after football that much. It's in the back of your mind, but it's like I gotta take advantage of this opportunity that I have right now to, go out there and compete at the highest level that there is, and but always taking care of family and doing something after, investing money. As long as I did that, I had enough time to stop and think about what I wanted to do after.
No, Mike, say that same point. But your vast knowledge about football, your just knowledge of the game. You thought about getting into coaching, be collegially or professionally or in high school to kind of share the knowledge of the game of football and how successful you were as running back and on offensive football, the way you know offensive football.
Yeah, you know what? I talk about it all the time. Coaching, coaching. I got a lot of respect for coaches. You got to deal with so many personalities, and on the 3 levels: high school, college, and pro. I love college football. I would love to do that. But then I got to think, like, how can I recruit these guys? I never had to recruit before, so like, how can I do that? And then pro level, I can deal with the pros much easier. But it's just such a cutthroat league, If I can, I'd love to get my foot in the door in coaching professionally if that's available. But high school is no way, no chance. I don't know if I have patience for these teenagers.
I feel you. Now I'm 30. I feel you.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got teenagers in the house. I'll tell you right now, they will test your patience.
Yeah, no. But it's all fun, I like seeing the little kids play. I was at a high school football game last weekend and seeing my little nephew play. One of my nephews play, and it was fun. That was getting my little competitive juice going. It was like taking me back to the days of high school when he was like clearly the best player on the field. He was out there dominating.
You get out there, right, folks. We got Michael Turner here on the Bossman Show, former Charger and Falcon, number 33 in your hearts, doing big things for you, for your Atlanta Falcons and your Chargers out there, folks. Now, Mike, we're about to open up the Mercedes-Benz Stadium officially on Sunday. Now, let's go back to the Dome for a minute. What is your most memorable moment of the Georgia Dome? I played there, when I was at Tennessee State. You played there at the Falcons. So, where's the most memorable moment of the Dome? What's your memories for it take forever from that dome, for they blow it up, wherever they blow it up? What's your memory of your life, that's your life, about the Georgia Dome?
It'll definitely be my first game there, coming off signing a free agent contract. and coming to Atlanta, I have to prove myself because, I was a backup in San Diego. So it's not like guys had a lot of, faith in me around the league like that. I just had so little film on me of being a good football player. I just wanted to show the world and what the Falcons seen in me, and they made the right decision by signing me. And I ended up going out there and breaking the single game rushing record for the Falcons, and that was a great feeling. And plus, it was we opened the season at home, and it was good to start off 1-0 after the bad seasons the Falcons was having before I got there.
Yeah, and also one of the more memorable moments was when you and I won our fantasy league together, right?
Oh yeah,
that fantasy championship that you and I took down.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we need to retire it in your man cave. Retire my jersey in your man cave.
That's funny, man. The other thing I wanted to spin off on with JR talking about the Georgia Dome, other stadiums around the league. I mean, you've been to all these different stadiums. Was there a place that you looked forward to going to? Was there a place that when you saw it on the schedule, you were just like, you hang your head like, oh man, we got to go to that. That place is crap. Like I hate playing there, or it's such a long distance travel. Like San Diego, you're traveling maybe all the way across the country to play, and that has a set of challenges. So what are some of the stadiums that you liked or disliked playing in?
Okay, the stadium I liked, really, honestly, that I like going to every year was New Orleans. And I just because it was the atmosphere there. It's a rivalry game. You're on the road. Everybody's against you, and we just had so much respect for each other out there on the field. And I don't know, it was just magical during that time period with Mike Smith and Sean Payton going at it. And the stadiums I hated the most, I hated Tampa because Tampa has a terrible visitors locker room. And all the California stadiums. I'm glad everybody's moving and getting new stadiums in California because, it was really outdated and it was time for a change.
Well, and that brings us to the next point. The Chargers moving from San Diego to L.A., go back to your San Diego days a little bit. What were some of your memories playing for San Diego? Were you upset to see them leave San Diego? Did you have kind of I don't want to say a partnership, but you had a little stake in that city because you started your career there. Were you kind of upset to see him move to LA at all?
Yeah. I understand it's a business part, it's a business aspect to getting a new stadium and teams moving around. But I would have loved to see a brand new stadium in downtown San Diego, right there, right off the water. San Diego's a beautiful city. They have great fans, and it's unfortunate they couldn't get a deal done there. And now we got two teams in LA. I don't know if that's overdoing it. I don't know how that's going to play out, but, San Diego's always a special place in my heart. It's a team that drafted me. I loved every moment of being there. I had to be patient behind LT, but I just took the opportunity to sit back and learn from him what it takes to be a professional and end up being a Hall of Fame football player. So if I had to sit behind somebody, I'd rather be somebody else in the Hall of Fame.
You got there right. It had to be great to sit behind a Hall of Fame and learn from him. It had to help you out a lot for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, most dedefinitely helped me out for sure. And, I was just learning the ropes, and we just had a great team there. All the guys, offense, defense, the team chemistry. We always hung out together, always had a good time with each other. We enjoyed each other's company, and you don't find that in every locker room. And I absolutely loved it there.
Well, speaking of LT, this is kind of a little bit off script here for the interview, but did you ever sit on the sidelines? Because at home, when you watch him, or in the stands, when you watch that dude run, he's jaw-dropping some of the runs that dude made and some of the plays that he made. Did you ever sit on the sidelines and go, damn, how did you do that, bro?
Yeah, because we had totally different styles. So the runs he pulled off, it was amazing. I had confidence in myself that I'd go out there and do the same thing, but just in a different way. If you understand what I'm saying. But I can clearly see how special he was. I liked him before I even got to San Diego. I was like, man, that's a good running back. I can't emulate him, but he's a good guy to watch. He's exciting. Catch the ball at the backfield. Can run. Got amazing cuts. It's like, what bad can you say about the guy?
You got there right now, Mike. Back to stadiums for 1 second. what's it like to play in Oakland on the baseball field? That had to be like annoying to play on second base out there, third base out there, get your arm scraped up.
That was another reaon why I hated them California States. One of them had the baseball field out there, and I played on there. I think might be once or twice, and it was terrible, man. It was first of all, it's weird, got this baseball diamond in the middle of the football field, but it was like, man, please don't get tackled in the dirt, because you're getting burns like serious turf burns out there on that stuff, and it's hard to get in the shower after that.
Whenever I used to watch that, JR, I'd watch that on TV, right? And they have the baseball diamond right in the middle of it. It's like a pickup game. Like you guys just decided to play a pickup game out there. Like, that's what it always looked like.
That's exactly what it felt like. It's like, this is the NFL. Can we have our own field? Can we get 100 yards just for football around here?
Exactly.
But it's crazy. It's crazy that teams used to like share football fields and stuff like that.
Now, this is behind the scenes for you. What was your game day routine like for you guys to go out to play for the Falcons or the Chargers? Well, how's your the game day for you? Was it get to stay up 2 hours early, stretch, do your warm up? Talk to how it got you in that mindset to play every Sunday for your two teams there.
I just make sure. Yeah, I got to stay pretty early. I like to get there early, sit down and meditate, relax, get my mind right for a game, and be able to stretch and properly warm up before we actually have to go out there, because the NFL is different than college. College, they give us plenty of time as a team to go warm up as a team, and that's all you need. But in NFL, you got to kind of warm up on your own, because we go through it so fast. It's not really a true warm up. So you have to do some things on your own to really get prepared for the game.
So, Mike, the athletic nature, I guess the best way to put this is athletes play a bunch of different sports coming up, and you may not settle on the best sport for you until you might be in the middle of your high school years, or even some people in the beginning of their college years. Were there other sports that you played coming up, and would there be another sport that you would have tried or would have liked to have tried professionally?
I ran track in high school. I loved it. I loved the the competitiveness of just racing somebody. A lot of people didn't. When I went out there, I was a big kid, and people didn't expect me to have that much speed. But I went out there and did well. I was pretty fast. I always knew I was fast, but I just had to go out there and prove it. And I felt like track was the only way for me to prove that I was fast to everybody, because people wouldn't believe me. But I made it downstate and state of Illinois in track. I didn't make the finals or anything, but I was just happy to make it that far. That's a big accomplishment for me. Being the size that I am. What else? Basketball, I never did basketball. I knew that wasn't my thing. But
come on, man! You could have you could have rolled like Charles Barkley, bro. Charles Barkley, man. You could have been that.
I'll probably do Charles Barkley golf swing.
Yeah.
Okay, go. I wish I would have learned how to play golf in high school. I wish I would have did that. But we didn't have a golf team or anything like that. But and sometimes I see lacrosse. That's pretty interesting. Rugby, stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of soccer too. You never know.
Listen, man. You could have played linebacker for sure. You got the linebacker build. You would have messed some people up playing linebacker. Now, yeah. I don't know if you like sticking your nose in that way, but running backs, as far as I'm concerned, having watched you play many times, I know you don't care about mixing it up. You will put the hurt on somebody.
I don't care about mixing it up. No, but I really like to play corner too. Because like I said, I was fast, and people didn't think I was fast, but I like to play corner. I like other than running back, like a cornerback is like my favorite position, because it's just the natural challenge of shutting somebody down. I just love the mindset a cornerback has to have being out there on the football field.
What about tennis? You ever play any tennis?
Oh no, I never played it.
See, that might be good for you, because you've got the agility, you've got the lateral quickness, and then if you charge the net on somebody, if you charge the net on me, I drop my racket and go the other way.
You know what? I really enjoy playing badminton and racquetball. Those. You go to the little field house or something. You got those little activities, those little rooms they got over there for those kind of sports. I used to participate in that stuff.
My man just threw out barbecue sport on us, bro. Badminton's a barbecue sport. Like, come on.
Yes, tetherball as well. Or Foursquare. I do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Professional Foursquare League, they have that.
Yeah, they have a Foursquare league.
Yes, they do.
Oh man, I was trying
I learned about it last year.
Like, dude, they got league for everything, bro. Everything.
I know. Even the league, even the league for video games, man. It's a league for everything.
There you go.
Exactly. The Madnets or the Madden players. Because Mike, you and I both know there are guys who be in their man caves all day long playing Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Madden, 2K. How about go out and find you a lady or something? Working off that Xbox controller. Come on, man. Get your mind right.
Hey, man, that's a dream job. You can sit on your butt, play video games, and get paid. That sounds good to me. That sounds like a good deal. And order pizza. That's all they do.
Exactly. Oh man, Mike, it's been great to have you on the show, bro. We're gonna do this again with you real soon, man. I'll see you Sunday at the stadium, man. Can't wait to see you again, man.
Yeah.
We'll chop you up there at the stadium, bro.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you too, man. Maybe be on the show later on this season when the Falcons dominating.
No doubt, for sure. We gotta do that, bro. No doubt.
Okay, all right.
All right, folks. Michael Brown on the Bossman Show, your former Falcon and Charger legend here with John and myself. After the break, we got more Bossman Show for you. Stay tuned.
All your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, a Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Fantasy football season is fast approaching, and if you're looking for an edge this season, you need to contact the guys at Draft Day Consultants. The concept is a simple one. Draft Day Consultants takes your requests and connects you with one of their trusted analysts, who then guide you through your draft, whether you just need a sounding board on decisions, or if you need them to conduct your entire draft. Draft Day Consultants has you covered. Every one of their consultants has a proven track record of success, and have conducted hundreds, even thousands of mock drafts. Thanks to this year-round research and analysis, the guys at DDC have an unmatched understanding of player values. So gain an edge on your league mates this season by hitting up draftdayconsultants.com. That's www.draftdayconsultants.com. Now get after it, fantasy footballers.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Back here in the Bossman Show. Let's talk to your former Falcon, Michael Turner here on the Bossman Show. Then we're going to go to my man from FanRag Sports, Bill Williamson on the Bossman Show. Bill, how's life treating you, my man?
Hey, how are you again? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Now, Bill, we had a very eventful week one here this past week, so I want to get your takeaways from week one overall. And what things really stood out to you about week one that you're going to keep your eye on going forward here?
Oh, well, I mean, there's certainly a lot. I think the first is really that there weren't that many interesting games. Yeah, I think it was 4 one-score games. And, you know, I know week one usually has its own personality, and it's difficult to kind of figure out after week one. But there just wasn't that many good games. The two best games, in my opinion, was the first one, Kansas City and New England, and then the last one, Denver and the Chargers last night. So I'm looking for some more competitive games. Again, I think the Chiefs and the Patriots are both fascinating. I'm not so much worried about the Patriots, but I'm really impressed by the Chiefs. This team is known for its defense, and it's going to miss Eric Berry, and that's a real bummer for them to lose him. But if this offense can be as explosive as it was against the Patriots, the Chiefs could be a real Super Bowl contender.
Bill, was that the biggest surprise of week one for you, was that the Chiefs and that second half that they played against the Patriots?
Yeah, I would have to say so. I mean, you can point to Jacksonville beating up on Houston, but when the defending Super Bowl champion and you know, that defending Bowl champion, the team that everybody, including myself, thought was the most improved team this year, they got really punched in the mouth in that fourth quarter at home. That was supposed to be a celebration night. So I would certainly think what we saw Thursday night in the fourth quarter, how the Chiefs just overpowered the Patriots. Yeah, that was quite the surprise.
And Bill, what surprised me, Alex Smith throwing the ball past 15 yards. It's the pressure of Patrick Mahomes behind him making him say, man, let me air the ball out, because if I don't, this guy behind me will do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the Chiefs is that you have Mahomes. I mean, the future is really looking good for this team, but the present's looking pretty good too. And Smith isn't going to, let go of that starting job anytime soon, at least in his mind. And he has a lot of weapons, in Hill and Kelsey and now Hunt, the rookie, who had a tremendous game. So again, the Chiefs are really an interesting and exciting team.
Looking at the Raiders here, Bill, is like they came to Tennessee. Tennessee was the media dollars of the whole offseason. They're going to go 12-4, 11-5. They came into Nashville and hit them in the mouth with Marshawn Lynch and those guys. So you see the Raiders contending with the Patriots and the Steelers in the AFC to possibly make the Super Bowl in Minnesota this year?
Well, I mean, they have to get past the Chiefs. I think the AFC West is the best division in football, with keeping an eye on the NFC South and the NFC East. But the Broncos looked good last night. We talked about the Chiefs, and the Raiders look very good. I do a lot of Raider work. I do Locked On Raiders daily podcast. So I keep my eye on the Raiders on a daily, and I was impressed. I actually thought they were going to go lose that game, and they controlled it, and they looked good, and the defense wasn't great, but it certainly made some strides and made some big plays when it needed to. And, yeah, the Raiders, Steelers, Chiefs are all threats to the Patriots. I still think the Patriots are still the favorite, but yeah, those teams all have a shot. And again, the Chiefs and Raiders are two teams that went 12-4 last year, and the Chiefs won the division because they swept them. Chiefs-Raider games will be really, really exciting football this year.
One other aspect of the Raiders, Bill, was the usage of Marshawn Lynch, and that certainly was an aspect of the game that helped them this past week. Is that how you envision the Saints using Adrian Peterson? And should some running back needy teams be calling the Saints to see if he's available for trade, or do you think that the Peterson's going to get his as the season progresses a little bit?
Well, it's funny. I did stories on both those subjects today for FanRag. Marshawn, his big role in Oakland is going to be the closer. I mean, and that last drive where they took a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, with 2 minutes to go, he ran the ball 6 out of 8 plays in that drive. That's what they brought him in there for. I think, you never want to say a team's going to get rid of a guy, especially a Hall of Famer after one game, but because he was buried, and then because him and the coach had something going on, they both denied it, but they weren't talking about dinner reservations. And then the fact that Charles Woodson's out there, on ESPN saying, hey, maybe the Giants should give him a call. And then today he tweeted, well, how about the Packers? Maybe if the Saints feel great about Ingram and Kamara, maybe they get rid of Peterson, whether it's by a cut or a trade. I don't know. I'm not reporting any speculation, but I think there would be some teams interested in him.
No, Bill, I would say, look, yeah, you can say, hey, it wasn't saying dinner reservations. I feel like this. Did Sean Payton define his role in the visit? Because if he didn't define his role and just said, we're going to make you the bell cow, I have a problem with that. Now, if he told Adrian Peterson, hey, we're about committee team, you maybe get 10 one week, 21 week, 15 this week, they're kind of for the game, he can't be upset. But do you think that it was Minnesota? He only got 6 carries, and he saw Dalvin Cook run all over the Saints defense. He kind of made it worse for the guy, too.
Yeah, I mean, in ESPN, I think it was Susie Goldberg reported that, hey, they talked to Payton before the game. He said that, one of these running backs is going to be mad at me. And again, they both denied it, but it looked like Adrian Peterson was the one that was mad at him. But, hey, if they are leading games, they're probably going to give him the ball a lot. If they're playing catch-up, they're probably going to go to the other guys and pass the ball and use receivers, running backs who catch the ball out of the backfield and spread it out, and that's not Peterson's forte. So it's just one game. Let's see if the Saints can lead some games, we'll see Peterson more, and, maybe he can establish himself earlier. It's going to be an interesting game against the Patriots. But if this continues for a few weeks, we'll have to see what his demeanor is.
Yeah, and he has that death stare he gave. That death stare was not something I would want to get from that guy. All he has a vice grip of a handshake. He has a death stare to go along with it.
Right.
Folks, we got Bill Williamson here of FanRag Sports here on the Bossman Show and the Locked On Raiders podcast, covering the Raiders for you on a daily basis. Check him out there. Now, Bill, looking at the Indianapolis Colts, how bad is this quarterback situation? Because, my God, Bill's got awful. And will Chuck Pagano ultimately pay for the sins and mistakes of Grigson, Irsay, and now Ballard? And if you're the Colts, if you're 0-4, 0-5, you think about shutting down luck for the season and just letting them recuperate all year long and just take the L this year, get a high draft pick, and rebuild to the draft and hope for the best in 2018?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting situation. I think if they are 0-5 without him. But, I mean, he's a young man. He's a guy in his prime. I think you just try to compete and get as good as you can with him and not just – I mean, I wouldn't sit him if he's ready. But, it's probably going to be a pretty ugly year for the Colts, and I would think that Chuck Pagano is probably not going to work out for him there. He's been there a while. You have Andrew Luck, a healthy Andrew Luck. That's very intriguing to coaches. So I think that the Colts would be one of the, prime jobs out there available if it gets to that point. A guy like Josh McDaniel, for example, may really be intrigued by working with Andrew Luck.
So, Bill, I'm going to touch on the Houston Texans real quick and the quarterback situation there with Bill O'Brien doing what he does, benching QBs. Knowing that their offensive line was probably suspect coming in, should he have been preparing Watson as the starter all off season, knowing what the line was and that that was probably going to be the route that he was going to have to go, or what's going on with that whole scenario?
Well, who knows? Maybe he thought that the veteran Savage was best equipped to deal with a poor line. You don't want to send a rookie out there right away with a suspect line. So maybe that was the thinking. But yeah, I mean, this is the second time that Bill O'Brien has pulled his quarterback in a season opener. Look, Watson's going to be the guy. I think that they would like him to he's mentally, better as far as reading defense, and that's natural. He's a rookie, and that will come. But I think they should just go for it with him, and I think it's the right call. He has a lot of ability, and, that defense wasn't great the other night, but it does have ability, and the Texans are a quarterback away from being a legit Super Bowl contender. You think Watson is the guy, let's go do it now. Why mess around? Because Savage is certainly not the answer. So I like the decision to get Watson in there.
Now, Bill, speaking of O-lines, Seattle's line is porous, and Russell Wilson running for his life still. How do you see that defensively in that line? Taking the ability to go deep in the playoffs, to go to Super Bowl again, because I feel like you can't protect your quarterback. He's going to get hurt like he did last year. Running away, going to injure an ankle or a foot or something again. It's going to be kind of slowing down all year long. So why is Seattle not address that position? I know they pay the defensive guys a lot of money, but come on. You got to protect your guy. He is your prize. You don't protect him, but they won't do it each year. I want to go the cheap route with the line there.
Yeah, I mean, excellent point. John Snyder, the GM there, is one of the best in the league, and he's had great success. He's built a Super Bowl winner. But he had all off season he knew that was his biggest problem last year, and it didn't get better. I mean, Luke Jokel was their big pickup. Now, they lost George Fant in preseason. That hurt. And the truth is, it's hard to get offensive linemen. There was a lot of bad offensive lines out there. Houston, Cincinnati, the Giants, teams like Minnesota and Carolina, to their credit, they had bad lines last year and they fixed it. The Broncos and the Chargers, both of those offensive lines didn't look good last year. So this is kind of a league-wide issue. But the Seattle Seahawks have a Super Bowl contender. And this offensive line gets us in the way 2 consecutive years. That's a shame. I mean, we saw the video of there was 3 Green Bay Packers about 2 feet away from Russell Wilson, and there was 4 Seattle Seahawks offensive linemen about 3 feet behind those Green Bay Packers. And that was just, this is a good quarterback, and he has no chance.
So I'm going to switch it over a little bit, Bill, and talk about these preseason games and what the league can or should do with them. Tony Dungy floated an idea going to 2 preseason games. I've often thought they should just expand the roster, make the preseason games part of the regular season, and that way you can kind of evaluate talent on the fly, so to speak. Where do you come out on this? Do you have any kind of grand plan that might solve some of the issues that we see with preseason, not the least of which being all the injuries that you see, that really are of no consequence because the games don't count?
I think a lot of teams play their starters, especially their key starters, less and less this preseason. We didn't see guys, that third preseason game was traditionally, teams starters to go almost 3 full quarters. A lot of teams didn't even go a full half. So I think teams are being very cautious, and, the preseason is just a necessary evil. There's probably ways to fix it, but hey, you know what? We're in the season. It's week 2. So I'd rather talk about this stuff than, August.
I got you now, Bill. Looking ahead to the NFL, PA, and NFL going back at it again with Ezekiel Elliott, do you feel like with the judge saying that putting his decision here that, hey, the NFL is unfair, Jerry Hill's going to say it's unfair, will this trigger finally, Roger Goodell being put on front street that, hey, we need to address this guy. Now, we gave you ultimate power. Yeah, we didn't say abuse the power. So what I'm saying is, do you feel like that this Ezekiel Elliott case will be a turning point in NFL, PA, and NFL dealing with, hey, Roger Goodell has been unfair, and yes, we gave you the power, but not to abuse your power to when you discipline with our players?
Well, I mean, in the spring of 2021, there's going to be a big fight between the NFLPA and the NFL, and I'm sure Roger Goodell's power will be part of it, and they're going to fight about a lot of things. And I think that we may see a work stoppage in another long one in 4 years. And yeah, it's an issue on both sides certainly, and the Ezekiel Elliott thing is a mess, and it's dragging out, and I don't think fans will. It's just a bummer. It's just another negative sidelight to the NFL. It takes us a long time to get to Sundays and enjoy the action because there's so many other things with this league that's so disheartening.
Yes, indeed. Well, Bill, I'll tell you what has not been disheartening is having you on the show. We love your work here, Bill. We definitely want to get you on the show finally. And I'll tell you what, man, look forward to doing it again with you real soon. We definitely catch your work at FanRag Sports and on Locked On Radio's podcast because I know you do a good job. We love what you do, man. Look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for having me.
You too. Folks, it's Bill Williamson on the Bossman Show. Coming next is Eric Edholm after the break.
All your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Fantasy football season is fast approaching, and if you're looking for an edge this season, you need to contact the guys at Draft Day Consultants. The concept is a simple one. Draft Day Consultants takes your requests and connects you with one of their trusted analysts, who then guide you through your draft, whether you just need a sounding board on decisions, or if you need them to conduct your entire draft. Draft Day Consultants has you covered. Every one of their consultants has a proven track record of success, and have conducted hundreds, even thousands of mock drafts. Thanks to this year-round research and analysis, the guys at DDC have an unmatched understanding of player values. So gain an edge on your league mates this season by hitting up draftdayconsultants.com. That's www.draftdayconsultants.com. Now get after it, fantasy footballers.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Album is available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today, True Speech and 313 Fresh, Family Grind ENT. Believe in it, get it.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
folks, we're back on the JR the Bossman Show. We have a great show for you today so far. Michael Turner, formerly of the Falcons and the Chargers, here on the Bossman Show. Bill Williamson of FanRag Sports. Now we turn to a good friend of the show, Eric Edholm of Pro Football Weekly and FanRag Sports, to talk to the NFL with us. Eric, how's life in Chicago, man?
Good, man. It's good hearing your voice. Yeah, everything's all right. We're, it's funny. Bears fans up here. I know you got ties to Atlanta, and they're feeling a little weird. They're like, we lost, but we played pretty well. But I think the Falcons are probably in that same kind of fog right now too. Like, well, we won, but so kind of a weird week one, and definitely a weird game at Soldier Field.
Well, we had on Hub and Arthur last week, and they talked about the Bears coming out competing hard, and they did do that. And quite frankly, I thought the Falcons were going to lose in the last drive. I thought the scars of last year would come open up again. They would lose in the end to Mike Lennon and Cohen and Howard and those boys. So I thought, but Brooks Reed and you got the pass rush, and it was on fourth down, it was over. But for us, the Bears' perspective, don't you love how they competed hard and gave the Falcons run for their money? Those first week season probably still a little jitters here and there, a little rust, but the Bears showed they can compete. They'll be playing hard for Coach Fox.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously in a flashpoint season, right? I mean, he's 9-23. There's a sense that maybe he and the front office are two separate entities. One could get fired and the other could stay. And right now there's a little stronger sentiment for GM Ryan Pace because, Mike Lennon had a big fourth quarter. I mean, Mitch Trubisky was the hero of the preseason. Things are looking good. Cohen was, from North Carolina A&T, not too far from you guys. And what a great find that was. I mean, he could be one of the great steals of this class if he keeps this up. So, Fox needed these guys to come out and play hard. And I think for the players, they were just so tired of being bad at home, terrible home record the last 3-4 years, and just being a bad football team last year, especially 3-13. 0-8 on the road too, and a lot of lack of respect for this team around here with other teams playing pretty well.
Eric, what will it take, in your opinions, for Coach Fox to keep his job for his wins?
That's a great question. I mean, sometimes 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. You know what I mean? Like, I could see them going 0-4 to start the season because their schedule's brutal. I mean, after the loss week 1, this week they got to go to Tampa, who's had the extra week of rest. There's no tape on. The Bears are just guessing what they're going to be like. I could see Tampa winning that one. I could see the Steelers winning at Soldier Field week 3. I could see the Packers on a short week up at Lambeau beating the Bears, and they could be a competitive 0-4. If they finish the season 6-6, well, the record doesn't look that good, right? You're 6-10, but I wouldn't be shocked if they play well and lose close ones, and if they're right there. I could see them coming back with a 6-10 record. That would be the absolute minimum, though. I think probably more like 7-9, 8-8 is sort of what I think people would have to see to really feel good about it. So 6-10 can look pretty bad when you start out 6-2 and drop your last 8. So that's my 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 kind of metaphor right there.
So, Eric, I want to get into this Packers-Falcons matchup a little bit. And the Packers, showed some flaws week 1. Falcons showed some flaws week 1. Do you think both these teams kind of button up what they need to button up during the week? And as they hit the field and face each other, what do you expect to see out of both these squads?
And I'm slightly laughing here because I did a show yesterday, and I was talking about one of the games, and I said virtually the same thing about two separate teams. I said, they kind of have some stuff they got to work on. And I thought to myself, the only teams that don't have anything to work on are the Rams and Jaguars. Those are the two teams that are fine right now, which is crazy to say, right? But yeah, I was up in Lambeau, and I watched this hard-fought game, and it was ugly, and there were, it wasn't the Packers' greatest offensive performance, but they stuck with it and they ground it out, and against probably the best defense in the NFL. So they had that going for them. And the defense played very, very well. They got constant pressure against Russell Wilson. Different kind of matchup against Matt Ryan. Home opening, as you say, the Falcons team has kind of stirred that area, and I think they feel like, look, the 28-3 jokes and everything the team did for last season, that crowd's going to be pretty raucous. And I think the Falcons are going to be glad to come home, and they want to improve on what they did week 1. Because, like you said, it was an incomplete performance. So I think Atlanta wins this game, but I also don't think they're going to have the same, those early failed drives the Packers had in the NFC Championship game. they might finish those drives. So the Falcons have to be just a little bit sharper offensively, I think.
So to drill down a little bit further with the Falcons, after week one, what are your feelings about the Falcons, all three phases, and do you kind of see them as a team to beat in the NFC South? I mean, I know it's only week one. Obviously, we have to base this on what we've seen in the past, but is there anyone else in the NFC South that's going to give them a serious run for their money this season?
Hard to know with the Bucs, right, because they haven't played yet, so obviously we're a week behind with them. I like their talent. I do think they're an ascending team. They've got to do without Martin for a few weeks, and I still want to see this secondary prove it. I know last year was bad, and the preseason looked pretty good, but so I'll kind of put them to the side a little bit. I think they're going to be a good team. I think it really does come down to Carolina and Atlanta, and Carolina's defense was great in week one. They'll have stiffer tests than what they saw Sunday. Atlanta, man, I know they gave up some yards, but they were flying around and hitting people. They have the big bodies up front now. They have some depth. Trufant is back. Derek Shelby is back. Some of these second and third year guys are now third and fourth year guys. Some exciting new blood there with Duke Riley and Tack McKinley. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like this defense is going to be pretty good in time. They're already way ahead of where they were a year ago when the Bucs shredded them week one. I feel like if the defense makes the same incremental improvements over the course of this season that they did last season, they're going to be just fine. So I like their chances a lot. Cam Newton's going to get better too, but I still think the Falcons have a great chance to win this division.
Eric, on a personal note, they should re-sign my buddy Dwight Freeney. He got some gas left in the tank. I know he does. I've seen him working out. He's my buddy. They should re-sign him. They snapped one guy, the spin move on the third down, second quarterback.
I mean, you saw the Super Bowl, right? I mean, he was eating Nate Solder's lunch. I mean, he was out there, handing it to a guy who's about 7 inches taller than him. About 55 pounds heavier than him. I was shocked at how well he played on a snap-to-snap basis in that game, and I thought someone would want that veteran pass rusher. And maybe it's a week one thing where they don't want to give him the guarantee contract and they want to kind of, maybe wait a little bit and bring him in at some point.
Seeing the coming of the Lions against Arizona and Vikings performing, Williamson's coming in and carving up the stuff.
Yeah, I thought Johnson was a big deal. And left C.J. Humphries was a big deal. Carson Palmer was bad. And the Lions played well. I mean, they were opportunistic, and Stafford led them back. But they surprised me. I feel like that I'm not 100% convinced yet. I don't want to be that guy who doesn't believe it when he sees it. But I feel like I want to see it again against a few more teams before I fully buy in. But they got that knack, that fourth quarter knack last year, and they did it against Sunday. I think the Vikings have a great chance to do. Sam Bradford plays anywhere close to the level he was at, and that line blocks the way it did against the Saints. What a huge improvement that would be over last year. I mean, Bradford was running for his life. He was checking down to little, 3 and 4 and 6 yard passes, and the offense is just so limited. Dalvin Cook now, Stephon Diggs looks like a young Antonio Brown. He was awesome last night. Adam Thielen's a great possession receiver opposite him. I just feel like the pieces are there, plus that defense for the Vikings is pretty darn good this year.
Eric, previously on the show today, we've touched on a couple different offensive line issues around the league. Houston, Seattle. I want to talk a little bit about the Packers' offensive lines in week one. Rodgers took some pretty good hits, was limping in the Seattle game. Do you think that line will gel enough to protect him and ensure that he's on the elite playoff run?
Yeah, they're going to get Brian Bulaga back, which is the good news. I mean, that's something that Seattle can't say. Seattle doesn't have that starter coming back from injury. The Houston Texans have Dwayne Brown holding out. They've at least got some hope that things will get better. Packers, same way. Bulaga's hurt. Kyle Murphy actually didn't play terribly in that first game. He was right tackle. He gave up an early sack, but it looked pretty good in the run game. The Packers' problem is depth. If they lose anybody to injury for any length of time, they're really going to be stretched thin. I mean, the second-team offensive line, I just happened to see some Brett Hundley tape the other day and watching him run for his life in the preseason, and it was all the guys that make up the number 2 team in the Packers for the offensive line. It's not a good group. So if their starting 5 stays healthy, I think they're okay. Jari Evans had kind of a rough first game. He had a couple holds, and wasn't used to Rodgers extending plays. If Drew Brees gets rid of it like in a flash, you can look really good at Drew Brees' offense because he makes them look good a lot. But with Rodgers, I think Jari's got to get kind of the timing down, know when he's in a scramble mode, know when he's just extending to play. So I think that group will get better, and Balaga coming back will be a big deal.
Now, Eric, one thing Hub talked to us last week about was the 1-2 punch of the Bears' backfield of Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen. Losing Kevin White again to a season in the injury. How will that role expand with the offense to kind of keep Mike Glennon and eventually Mitch Trubisky playing well, keeping chains moving without those receivers on the outside to get them the spark they need out there as weapons?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, right, and it's so scary too because I mean, you know, Kendall Wright, who obviously had a big season 3-4 years ago, and you know, really hasn't been the same player since. He looked pretty good in the preseason. So in theory, Kendall Wright could be a number one. But I mean, you look at some of the other guys that they have, and they're number 4 and 5 receivers on most teams. That's the quality we're talking about. You know, they just brought up a kid from the practice squad, Tanner Gentry, who looked great in the preseason, but we have no idea. He was an undrafted rookie out of Wyoming. You know what I mean? So he all of a sudden could get snaps on Sunday. I mean, I think they're going to have to use multiple tight end sets. I think they're going to have to use both Cohen and Howard on the field at the same time. You know, flex Cohen out into the slot, put him in motion, do something to them that's, you know, where he and Howard can be on the field at the same time. But then again, you're taking your two best players right now, your two best offensive playmakers, and stretching them a little bit and have them work a little harder and get more reps. Howard left that game early. He had not left it early, but he left it banged up. Didn't talk to media afterwards. Had a tailbone, was, you know, possible concussion attested for. So, you know, there's a little bit of worry there now. So, yeah, they're super shorthanded. And Mike Glennon is the guy. He can only do so much. So without a full deck of playmakers, you're kind of asking him to do things he probably shouldn't be asked to do.
Eric, this one's probably a little bit off topic. We haven't really touched on the Browns at all during this conversation, but I wanted to get your take on the performance of Kaiser and their overall performance in Week 1 against a better Pittsburgh team all the way around. They seem to play fairly well in that game estimation. How encouraged would you be from a Browns fan perspective after seeing what they put on the field?
Yeah, it was like Rocky 2 out there. You know, I mean, he's taking these hits left and right, and you just kept thinking like, all right, well, he'll bow down at some point, but he kept coming. I mean, he's a fighter. Now he's a young kid. Obviously, he's only 21 years old, and you know he's maybe got a little more spring in his step than some quarterbacks who've been Clevelandized, you know, and beat up and all that. But you know, to take 7 sacks and be as competitive as he was and make some plays, I'm in for now. I want to see what he can do. You know, and there was a divided opinion about him coming out of Notre Dame. He took a step back his final year, and you know. There was some tension with the coaching staff there, and so how would he work in Cleveland, a place where, you know, there's always tension, there's always something going wrong. Well, he's handled it pretty well so far. So, you know, they would not be put away by the Steelers, so that was a good first sign. You know, I'll be curious to see where the team ends up. I could see them being a plucky little team this year. Hugh Jackson's gonna roll the dice every chance he gets, and they just don't have enough receivers. I mean, that's the one thing I'm worried about, especially Kenny Britt now in the doghouse. Corey Coleman has to be their number one. You know, I feel like they still need that. They need that Josh Gordon, you know, and they don't have him. He's suspended. So that's really what they're lacking right now.
Now, Eric, let's go to the Cowboys real quick here. Was the Cowboys D that good or the Giants offense that bad?
Man, I'll tell you what. That Giants offensive line did not look good to me. I still haven't watched the full game yet. I saw most of the first half. I got through most of the first half today. You know, Eric Flowers and I mean, just two of them, man, they did not play well. And the lack of a consistent run game is going to hurt them this year too. Obviously, not having Beckham out there changes the game plan entirely. You know, you don't have to. There's no other receiver they're really worried about that much to that level. So that changes things completely. The Giants will get better, but this issue has been brewing for some time now. I mean, they had problems last year. They had problems in the preseason. Everybody kind of saw this coming, and so it's not a shock at this point. And I mean, you could really say that about maybe a dozen teams. Do they have the offensive line to win? I mean, do they have a group that can get them to a Super Bowl? I almost feel like that's going to be one of the prevailing stories of this season. the lack of quality blocking talent and cohesion up front. And the Giants are just one of the contenders that also suffer from that.
And final one for you, Eric, is this. Skandrick has surgery on a fracture in his hand today. Can the Cowboys secondary survive without Skandrick back there? They're already thin as is, with draft picks being injured.
Yeah.
And so can the Cowboys defense, especially the back end, can they survive without Skandrick? Well, that means more Zeke Elliott running the football to kill the clock and make the game shorter because to protect the defense on the back end, especially that's very thin already.
Yeah, that would be nice, where you get where they can bleed the clock and they can play from ahead and kind of get into situations that are more favorable from them. And yeah, that's how they won games last year. They won a lot of close games, but they played from ahead a lot, and that was sort of a key. And Skandrick has had some injuries over the years. He's had the knee, he's had other things. Yeah, I believe he had a suspension the first 4 games one season there. So they've played without him before. That's the good news. The bad news is that I don't know if the kids are ready to step in that full-time kind of role. Skandrick was so good in the slot, too. That was where he sort of made his money and made his mark. So, I'm thinking about Awuzie from Colorado, talented kid, can do a lot of different stuff, good blitzer, played every position in the backfield there. He could probably help out as well. Jordan Lewis from Michigan, has been out of the lineup and banged up, and it's taken a little while for him to get going. You got to have some patience, though, too. Because the young guy, you don't just drop him in there. That's a really tough ask for them. So we'll see. That pass rush gets home, it's less of a worry. But right now, yeah, it's a concern.
Yes, indeed. Well, Eric, I thank you for getting your time to get on the show with John and myself. You're great as usual. Can't wait to do it with you down the road, man. And Let's Pro Football Weekly is one of my favorite things to read. So we're going to read you every day because we love Pro Football Weekly. We love Hub, Arthur, and yourself. You all do a great job.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys down the road. Thank you.
All right, folks. Eric Edholm here on the Bossman Show.
All your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Fantasy football season is fast approaching, and if you're looking for an edge this season, you need to contact the guys at Draft Day Consultants. The concept is a simple one. Draft Day Consultants takes your requests and connects you with one of their trusted analysts, who then guide you through your draft, whether you just need a sounding board on decisions, or if you need them to conduct your entire draft. Draft Day Consultants has you covered. Every one of their consultants has a proven track record of success, and have conducted hundreds, even thousands of mock drafts. Thanks to this year-round research and analysis, the guys at DDC have an unmatched understanding of player values. So gain an edge on your league mates this season by hitting up draftdayconsultants.com. That's www.draftdayconsultants.com. Now get after it, fantasy footballers.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work, A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Bossman Show. Great show for you today so far. Michael Turner, the burner from the Atlanta Falcons and San Diego Chargers. We had Bill Williamson of FanRag Sports, and keeping our theme, Pro Football Weekly, Eric Edholm on the Bossman Show. John had a great show for you. John? You highlighted today's show so far. Are you ready for the Boss Report, my man?
Dude, today's show was great, man. Like, week 1 of the NFL is in the books. Leading into week 2, we had great guests on. Turner was great, man. I love Mike Turner. That was a fantastic conversation. Got a lot of inside scoop from, Bill Williamson and Eric, and we're working into week 2 with a lot of knowledge. So that's a good thing. Now we're getting into the Boss Report. Don't need a lot of knowledge for the Boss Report other than maybe, have a few under your belt to know what it's all about. But, great show up to this point, and I suspect that we're going to have a great Boss Report too.
Yes, indeed. Well, folks, you've been waiting on it. It's time for it. It's here. It's the Boss Report. All right, John, first story. Naked Wisconsin woman arrested after being found hiding in the bed of a pickup truck watching some adult activity, says, quote, "I'm looking for the stars. Trying to buy the moon at the same time." What?
Was she participating in the activity in the back of the truck, or she was watching it?
Just watching it on her Samsung Galaxy 8.
I love how they always tell you what kind of device they're on. They don't just say their mobile device. They specifically call out, exactly. what type of activity is going down on each model. I love it. I guess, man, it's not cold up there yet. You want to get naked in the back of a truck and watch some, porn on your phone? Knock yourself out. Who's she hurting, right? Who's she hurting?
Exactly. I wouldn't have took the jail for that. I was told to get some clothes.
I would have said, listen, I gotta tell you, bro. This, I think, is the first time we've had a naked Wisconsin woman on air, correct?
Yes.
I mean, that, I don't even know what that looks like. In my head right now, it looks pretty good, but, that's just me.
Exactly. Get this. California mom says it's too hot in squad car after arrest for leaving child in hot car while she went to go to get piped In-N-Out burger.
Okay, well, the first part of the story is not that great. That's terribly dangerous, leaving your kids in the car when it's hot outside. The second part is she went to In-N-Out. Okay, think about it, JR. In-N-Out burger.
Yes.
That's where she was hooking up at. In-N-Out.
Exactly. And I bet that was what's going down behind it. In-N-Out,
right?
In-N-Out.
I mean, could you, it wasn't Burger King. It wasn't McDonald's. She wasn't at Sonic. She went to hook up at the In-N-Out burger. You can't even make that stuff up, right?
What a perfect story for that situation.
We're going to have to break out the foundation again, the Kids in Hot Cars Foundation. Can't be doing that, man. The kid. I get it. Like, you want to hook up, right? I get it. It's natural. You want to hook up, but leave your kids with the neighbor or, with a relative or something. Do something. At the very least, if you're leaving in the car, put the windows down or AC on or something. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you at that point, but it's terrible. Terrible decision making.
Exactly. New York man is arrested after stealing, get this, over $250,000 in stamp collection because New York woman was mean to him and refused to top him off in the manner he wished.
Well, $250,000 stamp collection, that seems legitimate to me. Like, you didn't get topped off properly. You are an aggrieved party. You want some compensation, and that's what you deemed to be equitable in that situation, right?
Yes, indeed.
Now, the other part of the story that I never understood this, JR, like stamps. Like, how in the hell are stamps such a valuable commodity? I get the whole time thing. I get the rarity thing. I understand that whole aspect of it. Who started stamps? Who started collecting stamps and then making them? Created the market for that. That didn't
loser.
Somebody had to do this. Like, it wasn't
loser.
I
don't let somebody use the stamp.
But who was the first dude that told another dude, "Hey, look I got these cool old stamps," and the other dude was like, "Oh yeah, let me give you some money for those," and that's how it started. Like, why? They're stamps, bro. Like, who cares?
I don't get it. Like, say I don't get coin collections. I don't get coin collections. Like, for real.
The only thing I get about coins is if there is some like intrinsic value in the coin. Like, if it's a legit gold coin, it's got some legitimate value to it, or a silver coin like that. At least I understand as a commodity, but it's a stamp, bro.
Stamp, like, for real.
I agree with you on the coins. Like, who's got? I don't know. Just listen. You do what you do.
Who studies the value of coins and stamps? How do you get to that point that you actually take time out of your day to study the value of coins and stamps, and actually go to stamp trades and go to coin trades and trade shows of stamps?
Well,
what?
Yeah, like, I'm not even like, passing judgment on the hobby itself or the activity, but
I just don't understand.
How do you get into it? Like, how do you get into stamp collecting, coin collecting? Hell, there's people that like collect like butterflies and stuff, and like put them in scrap. Like what? Like, how do you get into that? Never in my life have I been in a situation where I've been like, you know what? Today's the day. I finally got time to start that stamp collection I've been looking after.
The only thing I actually collected was lightning bugs and June bugs back in Florida.
Yeah. Oh, dude, lightning bugs. Yeah, you get them in a jar, right? They light up.
Or tie a June bug leg to don't let them fly with the fan blowing.
Yeah.
That was always funny too.
Right. Or like, okay, I guess maybe from a sports perspective, people might say the same thing about like, baseball cards and then, sports cards and things like that. I used to collect baseball cards. I still have, unbroken box sets of baseball cards. I guess that might be the same thing, right?
Yes, buying those Topps cards from Kmart. My dad used to buy them.
Oh yeah. We used to go out to the flea market and like pick up, unopened boxes of specific years and those types of things. So yeah, I guess maybe from that perspective, I understand it somewhat, but not really. but not really.
Hell will freeze over when J.C. Smith is not collecting stamps. That's when hell will freeze over. We know
we got to do. We got to talk him into it somehow. We got to like tell him, like, we got to get him, like, you and I both double team him. Like, we'll pretend that we do it and that it's really cool, and then like and then we somehow get him to start doing it, and then when he really does start doing it, we'll put him on blast and make fun of him about it.
Clowning for it on the spot.
Right.
Oh man, here we go. Grumpy old New Mexico man is arrested after unplugging the bounce house at his grandson's birthday party and causing 9 injuries to children.
He just had enough of it and unplugged it.
Yeah.
Listen, dude, don't mess with Grandpa. When Grandpa is sick of your BS, and you're bouncing around and he's had enough, that he will turn that thing off. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't know the ramifications of turning off a bouncy house. Hell, he probably doesn't know what a bouncy house is, and he does not care. He's sick of it. Turn it off. That's funny, man. Like, I guess so, man. You got to watch out, though. As you get older, like, your patience level starts to wear thinner and thinner and thinner, right?
Thinner,
so
yes.
like that you got to watch out for that. As you get older, you have to be aware that you have to try to have patience with situations because you can turn into that grumpy old man.
Yes, indeed. We have Ohio. Ohio man is arrested after repeatedly calling 911, asking cops to harass him so he can sue them for money.
So he kept calling the cops so they would come to the house. Then he would claim that they were harassing him to try to then sue the police department for that harassment.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds like a good plan in theory until they bust out the phone records and like say, "Hey, dude, you were the one that called us." Like it's pretty it's pretty thin when you get to court, but on its face, it seems like a good idea. I guess I don't know, man. There's got to be better get-rich-quick schemes. And I will tell you this, dude. You be careful calling the cops to your house one too many times. They get sick of your, BS, just like old grandpa did with the bouncy house. They'll unplug you, bro.
As a black man, I don't call the police for nothing. I don't call them for nothing as a black man. Okay?
Black, white, anything, bro. I mean,
I'll try to handle it on my own before I
listen. I have had plenty of experience with law enforcement in my day, JR, and I will tell you this right now: black or white, doesn't matter. I ain't calling the cops on myself. Okay, that is not an interaction that you want to have.
Negative. Woo-wee. We got this. Delaware man arrested after kicking coworker in the neck after he forgets to order him some fries and a chocolate sundae from McDonald's for lunch.
I couldn't, honestly, I will tell you this right now. I cannot kick anyone in the neck. Unless they're like a 5-year-old, that's about as high as my limit is to a neck. Like, I can't, I'm not flexible enough to kick anyone in the neck, okay? Certainly not JC. If I ever got to, like, trying to kick JC in the neck, I would have to, like, get up on a ladder to do that. But, do you ever, okay, so he got fries and a shake, right? Or he wanted the fries and a shake and didn't get them?
Yes, and he didn't get it.
Do you ever dip your French fries in your milkshake? Dude, it is surprisingly good. It's like a warm French fry, and then you get like the salty sweet, because of the ice cream and the saltiness of the French fry. It is a weird combination, but it's not too bad. Every once in a while, try it out one time. I'm not saying you got to eat the whole box of fries like that, but just, like you got a milkshake and maybe you just dip one or two in there, try it out. It's not too bad. Now, if that's what the guy had intended to do with his French fry milkshake combo that he did not receive, listen, man, you got to do what you got to do. Handle your business. You kick somebody in the neck, I guarantee you next time you put an order in with that dude, it's coming to you.
The caveat was he ripped his pants when his pants ripped. He was ass out in the office.
Oh, maybe then you shouldn't be eating French fries and milkshakes. Maybe you got mixed in a salad, bro, if that's what's going down. So, maybe you did your favor.
Exactly. Arizona radio station is in hot water, John, after green lighting commercial and tell listeners how to hide child porn on computers.
Like the commercial was an ad for some type of device that hides child porn?
Yes.
Oh my God, dude. I don't know, man. People are so freaking... And this. There's a whole, dark place out there on the internet where you can do and find anything nasty, illegal, perverted, anything. You can find it out there. And I don't know. It's just like...
Who was the sales manager or the sales, S-A-I-L-S manager of that station? Was it somebody that I used to know that greenlit that commercial to make it to the air?
They were asleep at the wheel on that one, or they really needed that, they really needed that check, right? Like, rent's due tomorrow. We need to get this money in. Yeah, but it's for a child porn hiding device. I don't care. We got bills to pay. Oh, okay.
Put it on the air, please.
There's only two ways I can go. Asleep at the wheel, or we need the money. That's it.
Exactly. Man, Michigan woman's outrage over getting a ticket over, get this, a dirty license plate.
Like, her license plate was too dirty for them to read? You see, that's the type of stuff that's stupid. Like, okay, I get it. Like, maybe your thing's covered in dirt and they can't read your license plate. Okay, I get it. Pull the person over. Let them know, hey, I can't see your license plate. It's against the law. It needs to be displayed. Do you have anything in the car that you can wipe it off with? Yes, I have a napkin right here. Okay, wipe it off and move on about your day. That's the type of crap that irritates people about law enforcement. I get that you're out there to, make the roadways safer. You're out there for public safety. But you're not out there to just randomly ticket people to generate revenue for the municipality that you're operating in. Like, if the woman keeps driving around town with the dirty license plate and you've seen her 5 times, yeah, write her the ticket. But the first time you see it, hey, public service, this is what's going on. Can we get it taken care of right now? Yes. Okay, no problem. Move on about your business. That's how that should go. But I don't know, man. It just seems like I've had that happen to me where they pull me over because, those little bulbs that illuminate your license plate.
Yes, they wouldn't let it.
Well, there's 2 of them on this car I was driving, and one of them was out. Okay, so the dude pulled me over to tell me that one of the bulbs was out. He wrote me a ticket, told me I had to replace it, go to the police station the next day after it was fixed so that they could see that it was fixed and sign off on it. That I had to do that. Like, really? Why? Like, it's not enough just to tell me it's out? Yes. And it wasn't even both of them. This is one of them, dude.
It happened to me in Clarksville, Tennessee. What's in Clarksville, John? What school is in Clarksville that I hate? And Rod Reed hates too.
well, Rod Reed hates every school that's not GSU, so that doesn't really work. I mean, what doesn't Coach Reed hate? Okay, other than TSU football. And even then, sometimes, like, what doesn't he hate? I know he hates us.
Exactly. Like, yeah, what does that's a good game. What does Rod Reed actually like?
You're gonna have to have him on. That's gonna be one. We'll do like maybe a once a quarter segment with Coach Reed, and we'll play a game with him. Like, the first one will be, what does Coach Reed like? And we'll just throw things out there and let him say, no, I don't like that, and tell us why, or yes, I do like that, and tell us why. That would be a good game to play.
Yes, because Lord knows
we have to get the dump button ready for that one, though.
Exactly.
Oh, ain't no filter on that.
Exactly.
And if you don't know, now you know.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Fantasy football season is fast approaching, and if you're looking for an edge this season, you need to contact the guys at Draft Day Consultants. The concept is a simple one. Draft Day Consultants takes your requests and connects you with one of their trusted analysts, who then guide you through your draft, whether you just need a sounding board on decisions, or if you need them to conduct your entire draft. Draft Day Consultants has you covered. Every one of their consultants has a proven track record of success, and have conducted hundreds, even thousands of mock drafts. Thanks to this year-round research and analysis, the guys at DDC have an unmatched understanding of player values. So gain an edge on your league mates this season by hitting up draftdayconsultants.com. That's www.draftdayconsultants.com. Now get after it, fantasy footballers.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today, True Speech and 313 Fresh, Family Grind ENT. Believe in it, get it.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.